Now at 6, one person was killed after a pedestrian-involved accident here in Newtown. I'm Kaylee Collins with what we know so far.
Well, family, friends, and people all over the state and the region said their final goodbyes to a Wethersfield firefighter. We'll hear some of the memories his family shared yesterday at his funeral.
Everything is incredibly flammable. Anytime a dry leaf falls, it's fuel for the flames.
It's been a week since the brush fire sparked on Lamentation Mountain in Berlin. Kayla Cade is going to join us to share the challenges that crews are facing out there.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock. Good Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus, America Area News.
And I'm Tim Lammers. It has been dry out there, which is why we're having problems with the brush fires. The question is, when could we see some rain? Not that I don't mind mild weather, but I think
I'm with you, right?
probably getting close to one of the driest stretches we've seen in recent memory.
Absolutely. I mean, September and October have been on record for the driest 2-month stretch in quite some time. Here's a little good news. Good morning, by the way. We do have a little bit of rain in the forecast for today, so there's something there. Unfortunately, it's not nearly enough to get rid of the brush fire threat. Land is still so doggone dry around here. Slight chill in the air today and maybe a little rain later on into the evening hours, but another potential record warm-up on tap in time for Halloween. We'll talk about that coming up. Satellite radar pictures quiet. Got some clouds out there and a easterly flow, so it's a little coolish, kind of clammy-ish out there this morning. There's a frontal boundary off towards the west over the Ohio Valley up into the Great Lakes. Not a big deal for now. 42 in Hartford, 50 in New Haven is not a bad start to the day, but with the clouds, we're not going to warm up too much. 35 in Willimantic, 37 in Putnam. Temperatures on the way only up to the upper 50s later on, so not far off from where we should be for normal highs on a late October day. But we've been very warm of late, and so this is going to be a little shock to the system. Big warm numbers on the way, though. Talk about that. Have a look at the forecast for the rest of the week, including Halloween coming up. And then we head into November. Wow. I'm just going to sit here and just kind of be stunned by that. 6:02, I don't know. Month's gone very well. I mean, the year's gone by rather quickly. Am I right?
It feels like that way, yeah.
Yeah. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
Nice to see you.
6:02 right now on the roadways this morning here. Over in Hartford, as you're traveling into downtown this morning, just out by Jennings Road, we do have light volume out there. And so we'll take a look at your Hartford drive times here. New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel is 5 minutes. Route 2, Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge is 6. Tim and Erica, back to you.
Rachel, thanks. One person died last night while they were crossing the street in Newtown.
Yeah, let's get right out to Fox 61's Kaylee Collins. She's live in Newtown this morning with what we know so far. Kaylee.
Good morning, Tim, Erica. Yeah, one person was killed here on Route 6 in Newtown, also known as Churchill Road, just after 6 o'clock last night. That person was crossing the street when they were hit by a pickup truck. That person was then brought to nearby Danbury Hospital, where they later died from their injuries. We do know that the road here was also closed for several hours as police began their investigation. Now, this incident just marks the latest accident where a person was hit and killed by a driver here in Connecticut. State data shows that back in 2022, 73 people were hit and killed here in the state. That's the highest number in 30 years. As of May this year, 24 pedestrians have been killed. That number is nearly 30% higher than the 5-year average for the same time period. As for this incident here in Newtown, we're still working to find out what happened to the driver and whether or not they stayed on the scene here. We're also working to get information on the identities of all those involved, as police have yet to release that information. If you were in this area and happened to see anything at the time of the accident, you are asked to give police a call so they can work to piece together just what happened here. That number should be on your screen now. In the next hour, we're taking a look at what traffic safety experts are doing in our state to work to improve road safety all over the state. For now, live in Newtown this morning, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Kaylee, thanks so much for that update there. Meantime, at 6:04, several brush fires continue to burn all across Connecticut.
Fox 61's Kayla Cade now joins us with an update on the Hawthorne fire in Berlin.
They say the south end of Lamentation Mountain is still pretty active. Now, they are controlling the fire lines and they have help from multiple agencies from outside of the state. There has been no rain in sight in the past few weeks, and it's causing fires throughout our state.
Everything is incredibly flammable. Anytime a dry leaf falls, it's fuel for the flames.
That's what's happening on Lamentation Mountain in Berlin.
There's still hot spots on the mountain, so reports on the size of the fire are very positive. We don't believe it's much bigger than that 120 to 130.
Governor Ned Lamont says they are making sure it can't expand any further. Firefighters have been fighting this fire for over a week. Helicopters from Maine have been called down to help.
Doing our best to tamp down the possible spread of these wildfires. If the wind picks up, you've heard the phrase spread like wildfire. That's what we're trying to avoid. You know, those choppers are costing us about $8,000 an hour. So that's a lot of support we're getting to do everything to keep you safe.
Major General Eve says the National Guard has dropped 240,000 gallons of water so far.
Last time we had aerial drops of water was 1995, so that's really unprecedented, and we're working and real proud of Connecticut's home team. Our members have trained to do this both here in the United States, in Connecticut, and overseas.
The Hawthorne fire isn't the only one in Connecticut. There are other fires happening that are not as big, but are still raising concerns.
All the fires in Connecticut currently have the possibility of reignition.
DEEP says it is managing all of the active fires.
We're working to ensure that there's proper surveillance and that we're helping to address, as new fires are cropping up, being able to get personnel on the scene to keep them from growing into larger fires.
What we need is rain.
DEEP says it's important for us to be mindful and to not burn anything outdoors, park your cars on the grass, or flit a cigarette butt outside the window. Now, with Halloween just a few days away, it's best for you to use a battery-operated candle instead of lighting a real one. In Berlin, Kayla Cade, Fox 61 Connecticut's news station.
Kayla, thank you. Well, from what our Fox 61 reporters could see, there were first responders who came from as far away as Ohio, all coming to Farmington Avenue, Hartford yesterday for the funeral of the firefighter who died a week ago while responding to the Hawthorne fire. Fox 61's Matt Caron was inside the Cathedral of St. Joseph for the funeral of Wethersfield Fire Captain Robert Sharkovich Sr.
It was a fitting final farewell to a true community hero, a person who runs toward danger when others turn away, a person who for the last 22 years didn't earn a dime as a volunteer firefighter. First responders came from near and far as the cold granite walls of Hartford's Cathedral of St. Joseph were filled with the warmth of God's love. It was standing room only, a service fit for a hero. 25 years with Hartford, 22 with Wethersfield. Sharkovich died doing what he loved, helping the community. To know him was to love him. A man of honor, character, compassion, and a few shenanigans, Robert Sharky Sharkovich Sr., age 66, a firefighter, a husband, son, father, grandfather, and friend with that signature Shark smile.
One of my favorite memories was working on roofs with him. We did it so often it became routine, even him occasionally falling off the roof and me and Robbie looking for him, being either in a bush or a dumpster, only to brush himself off and get right back up.
Robert was not just my brother, he was my hero, embodying strength and selflessness throughout his life.
Sharkovich leaves a lasting legacy. His son and nephew are also firefighters. If you'd like to pay your respects to the Sharkovich family in lieu of flowers, they are asking you to consider donating to the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. Reporting in Hartford, outside St. Joseph Cathedral, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Matt, thank you. And you can watch all of Fox 61's coverage of Robert Sharkovich Sr.'s funeral and remembrances anytime on fox61.com and on Fox 61 Plus. Fire crews in Hartford responded to two separate fires within an hour of each other yesterday afternoon. The first call came in just before 3:30 on Hungerford Street on the Frog Hollow neighborhood. Firefighters say that several back porches of multifamily homes were on fire. We are told that no one was hurt there. 6 people who lived inside of that home, though, are being helped by the Red Cross to find somewhere else to stay. And then just before 4:30, crews responded to a kitchen fire on Capon Street in Hartford. Crews kept the fire contained to just the kitchen. 3 people, though, were forced out of their home. Hartford firefighters say the Red Cross is helping that family as well.
It's been 1 year since a visiting nurse was found dead inside a halfway house for sex offenders. Police said Joyce Grayson had an appointment that day to see a patient at that home in Willimantic. And they said that man, Michael Reese, killed her, which is why he's now facing felony murder and other charges. Grayson's death sparked a new effort by state lawmakers to protect home health care workers. That includes training, more training, panic buttons, and a dedicated hotline and GPS tracking.